Hello everyone, this is Anita C. So this is the second part of um, the video on Expedia's 2025 air hacks. So I have 4 hacks yesterday that I published. Because the video is too long, I think you'll get bored of seeing me or hear me talking too much. So I split the video into two. So today I'm going to talk about the next 4 hacks. So if you haven't watched it yesterday, please go back to find the first 4 hack and continue on today, or vice versa. And in addition to just sharing the hacks to you, I will give you my comments and I will mirror the air hacks into hotel hacks, which I'm familiar with, and see whether that applies, doesn't apply, and how it works out to get you the best affordable luxury deals. Okay, so yesterday I quickly go through, I have 4 hacks: the best day to book, the cheapest month to travel, the quietest day and month to travel, the ideal booking window, and now let's continue on to hack number 5. Okay, the best day to travel. So according to Expedia, for domestic, the best day to travel is Saturday, 17% saving, and international will be first day, 15% saving. And quite interestingly, they say the most expensive day to travel will be on a Sunday. Okay, that is a little bit contradictory with some of their air hacks on the data that they have shown previously. But anyway, let's focus on this slide, best day to travel. Okay, so I would say, in my opinion, Saturday departure may be cheaper. Okay, again, based on my rationale that I talked in my last video, that for business travel, then you probably do not want to sacrifice your weekend for work, so you will not start traveling on Saturday. And then for leisure travel, again, you want to tack on with the weekend to make it a longer holiday, so most probably you won't depart on the Saturday as well. So Saturday becomes not a popular day to depart, both for business and leisure travelers, so that makes sense. So international for 15% on the first day, I think that has some rationale again, but because I think they are looking at more long haul travel, with more hours and everything, so that makes up the same rationale. But I'm not quite sure about why it is most expensive on Sunday. So if you have any insight, feel free to comment and let me know. Okay, so let me mirror that to the hotel hack. As I also mentioned in yesterday's video in one of the hack, I think the most or the cheapest day in most hotels, I cannot generalize, but a lot of hotels tell me will be a Sunday night. Okay, similar idea of why Saturday departure can be least expensive, because business traveler do not want to go there on a Sunday to begin work on Monday, and then for leisure traveler, most of them may want to leave on Sunday and then go back to work, go back to their life. And always hotels tell me that Sunday is usually a hole, that they, people leave and the people haven't arrived yet. So they are pretty quiet and having a good deal for Sunday night stay. So that is a little different from the hotel hack. And most expensive, for city center hotel, especially for the hotel that have a lot of corporate business, the most expensive is definitely Monday to Friday. And usually they have good promotions on the weekend for domestic travel, even for local people to come over to stay at the hotel. So it will not be, very expensive on Sunday. For leisure destination for hotel, it sometimes depends on the flight accessibility. Like the direct flight from a certain key source market, when are they arriving, when are they leaving, that makes their hotel pricing a little bit based on that. So again, coupled with the low season, shoulder season, and peak season that I just talked about, and then try to avoid concerts, try to avoid major conventions in town, then you're bound to get a better deal. So that's the hotel hack for number 5. Okay, now hotel hack number 6. The most expensive month to travel. So according to Expedia, it's March. for flight. Actually, I think that is quite true for the most expensive month to travel. If you consider in my first video, they say the quietest month to travel will be, or the cheapest month to travel, what is that term? The quietest month to travel is February. Then somehow activities pick up, the weather getting nicer, not so snowy or cold, and commercial activity start going on from March. So for business hotel, for business traveler, they have a lot of commercial activities starting from March. So that makes sense to be quite an expensive month to travel. And if I mirror that into a hotel hack, very similar, because actually for city center hotel, okay, in a lot of the Asian countries, March has a lot of conference and conventions. So for like business hotel, March, April is actually quite high season in Asia Pac for business. And on the other hand, March is kind of the shoulder season for the leisure property. So, the snowbirds return, beginning to do work, and the holiday that they took, maybe as I mentioned, Christmas time, Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day, all in December, January, and February, that is done. Then in March is kind of a shoulder that, some people still enjoying the nice weather, still want to go to those resort. So it's not the cheapest month, or it's not the most expensive month for leisure property in Asia Pac in March, but definitely for hotels in business center where a lot of commercial activities are happening, I can see March and April is actually one of the busiest month or more expensive month to travel. Okay, now hack number 7. Average ticket price decrease. Okay, so according to Expedia, they're comparing domestic economy class ticket and international economy class ticket, where they see a -1%, just 1% drop year over year in domestic economy and 4% drop in international economy class. Okay, so this one I cannot talk too much about. Much arrogant as we are on this channel, as you can see from my flight experience, I book a lot on business travel. So for economy travel, I really cannot say it's right or wrong, but I can tell you from my experience for business travel fair, definitely 2025 is comparable, is better than 2024, because in 2024 it has some unreasonably high business class airfare. That shouldn't be there. So now I cannot say it's a drop, but I think it's back to normal, back to the normal business class fare for the destination, for flights that I book. So it's back to normal. But if you ask me whether there is a decrease, I cannot sense the decrease. And I can tell you, maybe just about 5 years ago, I still see people talking about upgrade hacks, what do you need to do to get upgrade and everything. Now seldom people talk about upgrade hacks. You know why? Because that's almost impossible. So unless you have a very high tier in the airline loyalty program, or you do your redemption in business class or first class, you do the redemption using cash or miles to upgrade, or you actually bid. Now you can bid for upgrade for airlines. So because with all the tools available that airlines try to maximize, they know the way that people like to travel on business, and they find a way to maximize that. There are less and less opportunity for you to get automatic upgrade to the business class without paying for it, and a lot of people knows about it. So now the hack is really not to get free upgrade, but what is a reasonable redemption period, what is a reasonable redemption fees, upgrade fee, how much should you bid for upgrade, and that kind of thing. Also, I think, the time, the COVID, or, the younger generation, the Gen Z, has kind of changed the ball game as well. Because before, business class travel is really for business executives that the company pay for the fare. But now more and more leisure traveler, even they may not travel on business class all the time, they want to experience business class. So they may save money, or they may use credit card to save on points, and they have many ways to try to get a business class or first class experience. So that means the demand is there. So that's no point for them to actually drop the price at all. So actually, if I compare business class ticket, I cannot see a decrease. But maybe there are some economy class ticket, with some destination, with some city pairs, that they do see a drop, but not in my case. Okay, so mirror that to the hotel hacks. The hotel, definitely, I cannot generalize. Okay, it's really different by destination, different by many variations. I just read an article about Bali, Indonesia. A lot of Australian, a lot of Asian people like to go there for vacation. Very nice place. And actually their hotel rate has dropped. Not because the destination has any issue or anything, but because the supply has increased. So they have increased, I cannot remember, so many thousand rooms in Bali, Indonesia. So because the supply is huge, then it's another cutthroat competition in pricing. So people see dropping in nice Bali hotel because of that. So that is one example why hotel rates drop. And then, of course, as I say, there are many different variations as well. Depending on seasonality, depending on the hotel reputation, whether they are under hotel brand, a franchise, or a soft brand, or independent, or whatever, all contribute to the different pricing strategy. So unfortunately, I cannot conclude a hotel hack for you, but I can definitely share with you, like I say, Bali, the destination, or for example, Thailand right now, at this point of time, their arrival, if you look at the arrival data, and you find out which country has dropped in tourist numbers, then probably you got a very good deal on the hotel price, because they need to compete, they need to fill the hotel room, and that's why they will have a drop in the hotel price. And then the more popular destination, the more popular cities that is popping up, then it will contribute to the higher price. Oh, and one more example, for example, Japan, right? So right now, not a lot of people are traveling to Japan in July because of some predictions of earthquake or tsunami or whatever. But anyway, also those factors will affect people behavior in booking. And if people tend to book more or less, then it's demand and supply, then the hotel room rate will increase or decrease because of that. So that's probably the best hotel hack that I can tell you from here. Okay, so here comes the last one, hack number 8, cancellation. So according to Expedia, 22% less cancellation between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And in September, they have the fewest cancellation. Okay, I have to be honest with you, I do not know why this matters, other than if you have cancellation, the price fluctuates and so on and so forth. But back on the office routine that I used on one of the hack, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. probably the work hours for a lot of people. So you're unlikely to be very focused on your own personal trip or even business trip during this business hour. So normally you do it at the tail end of your workday if it's business trip, or you do it after work if it's leisure trip. So 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. has 22% less cancellation. Just make common sense to me, okay? But again, I do not know why it matters. Anyway, okay? So for hotel hack, that's cancellation methods. And I would say cancellations on the hotel side happen more frequently because of the more flexible policy. And I hate to say, I personally do not do that, but a lot of people may book a few hotels and then, with the flexible booking policy. And then later on, for example, for one destination, they may want to go, say 3 hotels at one time. But they only to stay at one, right? So when it's closer to the day and they have made up their mind, then they will cancel the 2 and then remain the 1. I seldom do that. I'm not saying that I do not do it 100%. Sometimes I do it, but because I kind of know what I want, and I, kind of make up my mind, when I do the research, I know which hotels do I want to stay and the reason why, and I plan my itinerary, even meetings itinerary for work around that. So the chance that I'm going to move in a hotel is not that high. Of course, I have incident that I actually check into the hotel, I do not like it, and I check out, and then I find in a hotel right for the night, and that happened to me as well, even that is a work trip. But that is not very frequent on how it happened to me. But back to some of the behavior that I know that some people do that, and because of that, the hotel's cancellation, as we can imagine, drastically increased. So whatever is in the book, sometimes that's the reason why they overbook, because they're not even sure if those people are going to show up or not. So that kind of pattern affects the hotel, the way they price and the way they push out the inventory. But again, the smart system, the revenue management system, kind of accounted for. They know, they call it the wash. What's the percentage of the wash, the cancellation or whatever. So the algorithm will pack in those factors to recommend a hotel with the proper pricing strategy. So I guess this is what this hack is about. And I'm not encouraging you to inconvenience a hotel by booking 10 or 20. And remember, most of the time you do have to put in your credit card to guarantee the reservation. And if you forget to cancel one reservation, you lose a lot of money. So don't do that, okay? Unless you really cannot decide, you cannot make up your mind, and one time or whatever is okay. But I do not recommend to make it a habit that you book a lot of hotels and then cancel the last minute, because if you forget one, then you're going to lose a lot of money and not gain any. Okay, so that is kind of the end of my hotel hack, as that's the end of my special 2 videos on air hacks and hotel hacks. And at the very end, I want to say today is actually the 3rd year anniversary of this channel. And this channel was established in July 7th, 2022, in the midst of COVID. I travel a lot, but I have never come in my mind to do a channel because I was always busy working, traveling. But then, of course, everyone knows in 2022, nobody can travel. And I look at the photos, I look at all the things that I did, and I'm like, wow, I missed that. And while I have some spare time during COVID, I created a channel just for myself, just to share my fun memories and experience. And now, it becomes my habit that I'm traveling to places either for work, for leisure. I want to record it and share it with my audience like you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the journey with me and will continue with me. So please kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't too. I'm grateful for the 20K plus followers that have been following me along the line. Really appreciate it. So for anything you can like, comment and share, and continue to support me, that will be greatly appreciated. And I will produce more better videos for you to review and to enjoy. Ciao, ciao.